Today I wanted to do a very simple tutorial on how to schedule a project using Microsoft Office Project 2013. This is a version that I downloaded as a free 60-day trial from Microsoft's website. It was pretty easy to download. It downloaded pretty quick to my computer. I didn't have too many problems trying to get the free trial. I wanted to do a tutorial because before this class I never got a chance to schedule a project, at least professionally, and I'm not sure how soon I'll be able to schedule a project professionally after this class, just because of my line of work. But after going through chapter 8 and some of the problems in class, it's very obvious to me how important project scheduling is to the success of a project. And while I may not be able to schedule many projects professionally, I definitely have a lot of personal projects that this software will be really helpful in helping me schedule very successful projects in a very organized way. So let's get started. When you first open up Microsoft Project, you're going to be at this welcome screen, and what you want to do is go to New because you are opening a new project. And from this new screen, you'll see a lot of different tabs. You can open a blank project, new from an existing project, new from Excel workbook, a software development plan, new product launch, create a budget. These are just some examples of the templates that are already saved inside of the project 2013. But you can also search here online for existing templates. Marketing, we'll search thousands of templates to give you some other templates out there if you want a home move plan, wine tasting fundraiser, a new business plan. It just gives you a lot of options on different projects that already have templates available for you. But for the sake of this project, I'm going to go back home and I will be using a blank project worksheet. When you first open up the blank project, it's going to put you on the task tab. This is basically the tab that you'll need to get the bones of your project scheduled. But they have different tabs, a resource tab where you can add resources, assign resources, use your resource pool, a report tab, that's where you make your reports, your visual reports that you'll show to meeting when you're meeting clients or meeting with your boss to show them how much progress you've made on your project. The project tab, which helps you calculate the project, move the project. Um, it even has the work breakdown structure tab, which I thought was very cool. View tab, which helps you change how you view your schedule, and your team tab, and your format tab, which is basically to make your timeline look pretty. So let's go back to the task tab. That's where we're going to be doing most of our work. And the first thing I want to do is set a start date for this project. The project that we'll be working on for the sake of this tutorial is a bathroom remodel project. A couple of months ago, my husband and I started on a bathroom remodel project, which mostly was going to be a do-it-yourself project where we're going to call in a couple of professionals for the things that we felt were beyond our scope, and for the rest of the project we'll be doing it ourselves. So this is a project that was a remodel of our master bathroom, so it occurred in the past. So my start date is going to occur in the past. It obviously did not start today. So I'm just going to go back to September. And we started the weekend after Labor Day. So September 6th was the start of this project. Next, I want to make sure that I name the task that needs to be done. And of course, this tab can be changed based on whether you need to add a task after you've done some task and you realize, oh, I forgot to add this task, or I didn't know this was going to come up. But you want to give yourself pretty much an outline, a skeleton of the task that you'll be completing. And because I'm looking back in the past, I do know the task that I will need to be completing. So I want to start with choosing my task and also choosing a duration for how long those tasks should last. The first task for this project and for many projects is going to be brainstorming ideas. Now, for the duration of brainstorming, it can take anywhere from a couple of hours based on the project to a couple of days. For our sake and the way this project worked, I chose the duration as 2 days to brainstorm ideas, just for us to look online, look into magazines, get some ideas of what we wanted our new bathroom to look like. The next thing we did was we priced materials. And this took about 1 day of good research, researching online, researching in Home Depot. Floor and Decor is a store that we had to go to, so we had to go to a couple of different stores and check on prices for the materials that we would need. The next thing we wanted to do was, because we're not doing the whole project by ourselves, we wanted to price the labor. So how much is it genuinely going to cost us to hire outside contractors to come in and do some of the labor of the work? That took us about 1 day of research. We did ask around in Home Depot and some professionals, some people we knew, of what do they think a rough estimate of what the labor would cost. Because we have those couple of estimates, we were able to go ahead and create a budget. Now, because I like my budgets for professional and personal projects to be very close to what they should be and not too much of an estimate, I gave myself 2 days to create a budget. 2 days to, test it out, see how it looked, make sure that I had everything included, and even some room for things that I did not think of that we would have to pay for. After we created a budget, we went ahead and created a design. Now, I am not a contractor and my husband is not an architect, but we were able to use some software programs to create a kind of blueprint or design for the bathroom and what we wanted it to look like based on some of the ideas we have seen during brainstorming. But in order for us to create that design, like our final design, and go ahead and stick with it, it did take 3 days. The next thing we wanted to do after we had our design ready is go ahead and hire a contractor. Now, in Orlando, this is a city that we're not originally from, so we don't have many people to go to and ask for referrals. He asked around at work. I did ask around at work also, but it took us a good solid week to get a couple of estimates from contractors, have some of them come out, and finally choose one person to do the work. We hired a contractor, and we also needed to hire a plumber. And this took the same amount of time, 7 days, about a week, to get the right person. After we hired the contractor and the plumber, then we finally felt comfortable with go ahead and doing the demolition on the old bathroom in order to be ready for the new bathroom and be ready for the contractor to come in and the plumber to come in. Demolition is a lot easier than putting the bathroom together. Taking it down is way easier. So that took about 1 day to do the demolition on the bathroom. After we did the demolition and we saw the damage, what we needed to replace, what we could keep, what we could reuse, then we were able to purchase materials. While we had priced these materials, we knew we were going to have to go to a couple of different places in order to purchase those materials. So it took us about 2 days to get all of the materials. The next thing we needed to do was to allow time for the contractor to do his labor. This was a part of the project. We were not sure what the duration would be. It would be based on the contractor and how fast he moved. Some days he was working by himself. Some days he had another partner there with him to work on things. But essentially, it took him about 5 days to complete all of his work. We called the contractor in first, but we also had to give opportunity for the plumber to come in and do his labor. The plumber had someone with him when he came. He was very professional, and his work was not as in depth as the contractor, so it took him only 1 day to complete his labor. After the contractor came out and the plumber came out, then it was time for us to go back to doing it yourself, and we were able to take care of the painting of the bathroom. We wanted to do the painting before we did, other major work. Just that way we could go back and touch it up, but we wouldn't get paint on the tile or, mirrors or things like that. We had a bare wall and a bare working space, so we were able to go ahead and paint and get that done, and that took 1 day to paint. After the painting was done, we were able to install our new countertops, which were very heavy, by the way. Granted, it's extremely heavy. So we installed our countertops. They were fabricated by a fabricator. We picked those up on the day we purchased the materials, so we already had those handy, but we did install them ourselves, and that took 1 day to install the countertops. After installing the countertops, we installed the new light fixtures, and that took 1 day as well. After installing the light fixtures, we installed the tile in the shower. We were not tiling the floor, only the tile in the shower and around our tub, because we are not professionals and we wanted to make sure everything was right, and we had to cut the tile ourselves and measure everything out. It did take us 2 days to install the tile. And the last thing we would need to do after installing the tile is install the shower doors. And after those are prefabricated and cut to the right size of our shower, it only takes a day to install those doors. Now that I've named each task that we're going to be using for the project and the duration each task should take, I have to tell project which tasks have to be completed before the next task can be completed. So for that, I have to go to the task mode column and select all and change the task mode from manually scheduled to auto schedule. Okay, the default is manually scheduled, so you do have to change it to auto schedule. So what that means is, first I have to brainstorm my ideas before I can price materials, because if I don't know what ideas we have for the bathroom, what type of sinks we wanted to get, what type of towel we wanted to use, I would not be able to price the materials. So the way that I do that is I click on brainstorm ideas, hold down control, and then click price materials, because pricing the materials is going to come after I brainstorm the ideas. And at that point, I just click this little button here to link the selected task. So this tells me here on Friday, September 6th, I can brainstorm the ideas and be completed by Monday, September 9th, and then Tuesday, September 10th, that's when I can start pricing the materials. Now, if you look at the next task, which is pricing the labor, I'm pretty sure we can price the materials and price the labor on the same day. That's not something that has to come after pricing the materials. So for that, I will do a similar thing. Click on brainstorm ideas, hold down control, and then price labor, and link those tasks. And as you can see, the start date for pricing materials and the start date for pricing labor is the same. That way I'm not wasting a day. I can do 2 tasks on one day. You can also show in this column which task will have to proceed the row you're on. So I can just put in here task 3 has to proceed creating the budget. I type the 3, hit enter, and it also creates that arrow for me as well. So that's just another way that you can show which order the tasks will go in. Now, because this is set up in the standard work week, which is Monday through Friday, it works well for projects you do professionally, but that might not be your standard work week for a personal project. For us, we had to schedule the project around class schedule, around the schedule of the chat for this class, because I'm in school as well as my husband. So in order for us to keep the project on track, I did want to change the working time. So in order to do that, you go to the tab project, and what you want to do is change working time. Right now you see, let me go to September, that Saturday and Sunday is grayed out, which means those are non-working days, and Monday through Friday are in white, which means those are working days. So I need to change that to be tailored to our schedule. So I'll go here to work weeks, click on work weeks, because that's what I'm changing, the work weeks. And then we'll go to details, and from details I need to set days to non-working times. So what are the days that we will not be working? The days that we will not be working are going to be Monday. They're normally busy days, and then I'll hold down control to select the other days. Tuesday is a busy day, he has class. Wednesday is a busy day because we have chat for this class. So I'm going to set Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to non-working time. So you'll see that now Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are grayed out. Those are non-working days. Well, what days will we be working? The days that we'll be working, I have to go back to details. It's going to be Thursday. So I'm going to use project default times for these days. Friday, I'm going to use the project default times, but Saturday is a different day. So I'm going to set these days to a specific working time, and normally on Saturdays we'll be up at 7 a.m. and we can work anywhere from 7 a.m. all the way to 12 a.m. the next morning. So I'm going to set Saturday to these specific working times. Hit OK there. And now you see Saturday is now in white because that's now considered a working day. The next working day I need to set is going to be Sunday. And Sunday I'm going to set those same time frames. 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. Now this calendar is going to be set up based on the days that we can work, and that will give us a more accurate view of when our project will be complete based on the days we are not able to work on it. So I'm going to hit OK, and as you can see, it changed the timeline to something totally different. That way it reflects the days that we're able to work. Now that we have changed the calendar to match our working days, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and link the rest of the task accordingly to show what timeline we're working with as far as this project. And I won't go back through that since I already went through that step for the sake of time. Now let's say this is a perfect world, and this project of the bathroom remodel is going to be perfectly on schedule. So all of these tasks were completed at 100% on track. At that point, I can show my schedule to whoever wants to see it, to see what's our projected date of starting and our projected date of finishing this project. And that will be under the report tab, under dashboards, and this is going to give me a project overview. So this is an overview of my project from beginning to end. It should take, and I didn't know this was going to happen, but it should take roughly a month with the working days that we have for us to get the project done, which is not too bad. So it would be great if we could stay on task and get this project done within a month. And this is a way where you can use Project 2013 to help schedule your projects at home. And I think the more that you use it, the more you'll feel comfortable with it, and the more you can use it for different things, whether it's a dinner party or a birthday party, anniversary party, or anything like that. You can use it for your personal use to make sure your projects stay on track and to make them come out successfully. Thank you.